asked you guys to leave me some questions about what topics you would be interested in learning about intermittent fasting. Like, what are your concerns? And I got a lot of questions. I was really happy with that. So thank you guys for leaving these questions, because that literally just makes my day. What is intermittent fasting? Intermittent fasting, it's not a diet. It's literally a type of eating pattern. And this eating pattern is basically when you're eating only in a 6 to 8 hour time period. And you're allowing the rest of the day, so 14 to 16 hours, you're allowing yourself to basically fast. Those are where all of the intermittent fasting benefits happen in that time frame, that 14 to 16 hour time frame. A lot of the times, people are mostly eating between noon to 8 p.m. or 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Other time frames you can incorporate would be like 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., 6 p.m. to 2 a.m. if you're working night shifts. You can experiment with the times to see how they work best into your schedule. There's not a one-time fits all for everybody, because we are all doing different things, we all have different schedules. And no matter what time frame you're doing, as long as it is that 6 to 8 hour time period where you are eating, some people can even minimize that down to 4 to 6 hours where they're only eating within that time frame. And personally, I find that is just a little too drastic for me. But no matter what time period you're doing, basically the benefits will come as long as you are fasting within that 14 to 16 hour time period, and letting your body rest and digest and basically heal itself. If you're somebody who's struggling with weight loss, intermittent fasting can be something really good for you to start incorporating, but only if you find it works for your lifestyle, your body type, and what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. Calorie restriction or limited eating during intermittent fasting is going to be beneficial for people who are wanting to lose weight or experience like fat loss. But for people like me who are not really wanting to experience too much weight loss and are wanting just the overall health benefits, I actually don't really decrease my overall calories. Like, I allow myself to eat what I want. I'm just eating in that 6 to 8 hour time period. And I'm not saying go overeat calories and go overeat on the days you are intermittent fasting, because calories are still calories, and if you're overeating calories, you are most likely going to experience some weight gain. So conclusion there, if you want to restrict your calories for weight loss, go ahead. But if you're still wanting to have that muscle maintenance, muscle building factors coming in, keep your calories at the same you would on your workout days. Just make sure you're eating in that time frame. And since I don't do intermittent fasting every single day, there are a lot of people that do it every single day. And a popular question that I did have was, is intermittent fasting healthy to be doing every single day? One thing I do want you guys to remember is that our ancestors, they were hunters, they were savages, they were going out and hunting, and they were possibly going days without eating food. So fasting is built in our DNA, it's built in our genes, so it's not like your body's going to go into shock from only eating within a 6 to 8 hour time period. But for somebody who's maybe experiencing weight problems, or maybe somebody who's also going through a disease like cancer or something, that is where intermittent fasting would play a big role in benefiting them. Now, if you're somebody who's just a regular person, you don't have any disease, you're not really experiencing any weight loss, you just want to start trying intermittent fasting and incorporating it, the first thing I would always recommend to do to start intermittent fasting is you basically eat what you would eat on a regular day, just squeeze it in that 6 to 8 hour time period. So it's important to try it and see if it works well with your body type and your day-to-day schedule. Now, another question I've been getting asked is intermittent fasting good to do before a workout? That is going to depend on your goals and what your body type is. In my opinion, for fat loss, intermittent fasting before a workout can be good, since your body is going to be technically in that fat burning stage. So going into a workout, you can even increase those fat stores being burned. And for weight gain and muscle building, I would technically say intermittent fasting before a workout is not going to be the best idea. You need those calories, you need that extra energy for muscle building. So that's why I only like to do intermittent fasting on my rest days, so I can utilize all my calories on my workout days, probably eating about 200 to 300 calories less on my fasting days. I find it works for me, guys. Another popular question I received on my Instagram was basically not using intermittent fasting versus using intermittent fasting for fat loss / muscle building. So basically, again, intermittent fasting is just a way you are able to access those fat stores at a greater advantage. There are a bunch of studies done where they say Intermittent fasting can stimulate human growth hormone, so technically known as HGH. Human growth hormone is going to help build muscle mass, helps decrease body fat, and it actually help counteract the effects of increased insulin. So human growth hormone is secreted by your pituitary gland, which is up in here, I believe. And it's typically secreted while you sleep. So this would kind of make sense why there's a link between human growth hormone stimulation and intermittent fasting, because you're mostly fasting while you are sleeping. And there are studies done where intermittent fasting can increase human growth hormone levels up to 5 times, but this is in men. Studies don't show the exact same results within women, but they still show results of increased levels of human growth hormone. With the benefit of having human growth hormone being stimulated as well with intermittent fasting, combining those two together, I think it's actually a really good thing to be using for weight loss and for muscle building. This is just my opinion. I've been using it probably for the last 1.5 2 years almost. I didn't even realize I was doing intermittent fasting. And I've noticed the benefits. You know, my muscle mass has increased, my body fat has stayed low, my nutrition hasn't really changed. I've been eating the same things. And I basically do eat the same things on my intermittent fasting days versus my non-intermittent fasting days. Try it. Non-intermittent fasting versus intermittent fasting. Try it on workout days, try it on rest days. You have to experiment to see what works well with your body. And something that I always talk to my girls about, the girls that I work with through my online programs, a lot of them ask me about carb cycling. And this is something I actually kind of incorporate myself, is using carb cycling with intermittent fasting. So I find this can be really, really good for fat loss. Carb cycling is something bodybuilders do, a lot of fitness people do, just to keep their fat levels low. Basically, on your rest days, you are going to be eating less carbs than you would on your workout days. So if you combine intermittent fasting with carb cycling, you may notice even increased weight loss results and fat loss results. If you have any questions about carb cycling, you can leave them in the comments below, and I'll be sure to get back to you guys about them. A way that you can incorporate intermittent fasting into your morning routine, because I've been getting a couple of questions I also got asked were, like, what do you do wrong if you break your morning fast, basically, right? What do you do wrong? Like, is coffee breaking it? Is water breaking it? Is tea breaking it? Basically, you are allowed to have water in the mornings, and coffee is also something you can have. And what some people are doing with the intermittent fasting, they are adding a little bit of coconut oil, also known, well, something extracted from it called MCT oil, so you guys may have heard of this. MCT oil, popular brand called Bulletproof. Basically, it's called Bulletproof coffee. People are pouring a little bit of this high-fat high-fat extract from coconut oil, medium chain triglycerides, into their coffee, and it helps hold off hunger and also helps with the increased fat burning effects. So that is a way you can incorporate your morning routine, like a morning coffee, into your routine. And then again, you're basically just holding off until 11 a.m., 12 p.m., 1 p.m., 2 p.m., not too long. So really, really not fasting too long. You're not starving yourself. Okay. And besides all the fitness benefits and the weight loss and fat burning benefits that come along with intermittent fasting, I want to go quickly into the reasons why I use intermittent fasting. And the benefits that I get so hyped up about intermittent fasting is anything else that comes along with the fat burning. So the cellular cleansing, the improved digestion, the decreased inflammation that happens throughout the entire body. While you're eating, your body is literally spending, and especially like in this modern day we're living, we're constantly eating. We've been told so much, you gotta eat 5 to 6 times throughout the day. Your body is literally not having time to rest and digest and utilize all those nutrients the way that it should be. By fasting, you're basically allowing your body, giving it that 16-hour time period to basically rejuvenate itself. Your cells like to go through a cellular cleansing. They like to remove the waste that could be clogging them up and making your body more toxic. And with that resting factor on your digestion, you can experience improved digestion as well and increased peristalsis, basically where your intestines are actually moving the food throughout your intestines. Since this resting is allowing to happen for all of these things to be taking place, IF can also reduce inflammation throughout the entire body, and that's going to be a really key factor just for your overall health. And one last important question I guess I've been asked is also, is intermittent fasting going to affect your brain, like your brain power, your energy? Are you going to feel fatigued? if you're seriously restricting your calories in that 6 to 8 hour time period, basically doing intermittent fasting not properly, you don't want to be restricting them too much. That's just not good for your brain. It's basically going to be bad brain power. You're not going to be feeding your brain. You're not going to be giving the nutrients it needs to basically function at its 100%. Now, if you are having a regular amount of calories, a healthy amount, a sufficient amount of nutrients, it's going to be good brain power. You're going to be feeding your brain with what it needs to be functioning at 100%. I think I've gone basically into as much information as I can about intermittent fasting. Like I said, I think the main thing you guys need to take away from this video is you need to see if it incorporates well with your body type, your day-to-day life. Because if you try and incorporate some new type of eating pattern and you find it's just not working well with your body, you find you're tired, you have no energy, you don't even have the energy to make yourself the food, it's like, no. The intermittent is not going to be for you then. You eat when you feel like you need to, also called intuitive eating. And you still also can eat intuitively while you are intermittent fasting. Eat in the 6 to 8 hour time period, but eat when you're ready to. You know, just make, I guess I wouldn't be too much intuitive, but you eat what you want. Don't restrict yourself too much in that time period. It's all about honestly trying it and seeing how it works well with you. If you guys have any other questions about intermittent fasting, feel free to leave them below and I'm sure I will get back to you. As for that, I hope you guys liked all the detailed information that I gave you. I'm going to be posting some of the links below that I guess where these studies have come from. Yeah, so check those out and thank you guys for watching.